This is a patient referred 2 years after cataract surgery with a significant amount of lens debris in the capsular bag interfering with his vision. We're going to remove this with a pars plana approach to go behind the lens and through the capsular bag. Here I'm rotating the eye up a bit as the block has forced the eye to rotate in a downward position a little bit. So I'm placing my trocars inferiorly so the infusion line can push the eye up into position where it's better centered. And I'm putting my infusion line in here because the eye is a little soft after placement of the second trocar. This will firm up the eye before I put my third trocar in for easier penetration. Now my three trocars are in place, and I'm going to go in with the vitrector and do an extensive anterior vitrectomy to remove all of the anterior vitreous prior to puncturing the capsular bag. This is edited a little bit. I'm going to finish my anterior vitrectomy, and now I'm going to puncture the capsular bag with the vitrector on so I can get in there and start vacuuming out this lens material. Now I shut the cutter off and start vacuuming out the lens material, and I don't have to worry about engaging vitreous. I'm now going to come from the other side and push up on the lens a little bit with the vitrector so I can get in there and start vacuuming out some of this lens material with the cutter off. You can see that this sucks out of the capsular bag pretty nicely. I've decided to expand the posterior capsule opening into a vitrectorhexis using the cutter on high-speed vitrector to shape the posterior capsule opening into a nice round opening that will be less likely to cause any glare and to give me a little better access to the peripheral cortical material 360 degrees. So here you can see I'm shaping the rexus, the posterior capsular rexus opening a little bit larger so it'll be less likely to cause glare and I have better access to the lens material. At this point, I'm going to go more posteriorly and make sure we've removed all of the vitreous, as this patient was complaining that he had floaters prior to this problem developing. And you can see he has pretty turbid vitreous. I also want to make sure that none of this lens debris has fallen posterior with my manipulation and will cause a problem later on. So we're going to do a more complete posterior vitrectomy here. And this doesn't take very long if you're set up to do this, and this allows me to remove all the debris and floaters that will give the patient clearer vision, and I don't have to worry about any inflammatory debris that I might have missed that could have fallen back. This is edited a little bit, but we do a fairly peripheral cleanup as well. Once I feel that this is adequate, I'm going to restore my anterior view and make sure that I've shaped the rexus exactly as I want it and removed all of the lens debris from the capsular bag. And the case is pretty much completed. We now remove these trocars. I like to leave the infusion line last, so it can just give the eye a little bit final firming up. And this is what the patient looked like the next day at the slit lamp. The patient was 20/20 uncorrected and very happy with this outcome, as am I. Thank you for your attention.